All right, welcome to the third episode of Slamfire. We're back. Now we're actually back. Both of us are back now, right? We're back, both of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so now it won't be so boring with just me talking. So this week we were we weren't sure what to talk about, right? So I like the idea, like what you were talking about, because it kind of flows with kind of like why we're doing this. Like we're not just doing this just to troll and to just throw information out there to try to get like bait clicks and stuff like that, right? Like where there's actually a purpose behind this, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I know the truth, man.
There you go. Like that's like the kind of thing, like we kind of want to expand our horizons and like make it so that we get a different point of view. So we just create a different way, like we just improve the way that we think, and our critical thinking skills, our ability to look at something and interpret it in a more truthful, meaningful way, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'd probably even go a little further. We just want to know, just to cut the bullshit, because there's too much of it out there. And everyone says that they have your truth and their truth. No, there's only one truth, and that's the truth. Things that can be verified, like indisputable. And that's what I want to get down to in all sorts of topics when it comes to that.
So that's what I want to get. That's what we're kind of jumping into it real quick, but really quick. I want to bring this up just so that we're like promoting ourselves, right? These aren't shameful plugs. Like we're promoting ourselves. Did I set it up? Whoops, I didn't even set it up. So let me open it up right here, and we'll do. So can you see my screen? My web page.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so we have a website for the five of you people that have seen our videos. We have a website called slamfiremedia.com. It's not a .org slash .net, whatever. We actually have a website. It's a legit website. We don't have any like spam or anything crazy going on. It's a simple website. We have our first episode uh, that we ever did, which I thought came out pretty good considering we'd never done this before. This is all brand new to us. We did our we well I was able to do our second episode, but this is basically just a general idea of what our website's going to kind of be. It's just going to basically be a hub where you can find all our videos. So we'll host on YouTube until they ban us or whatever it is YouTube is going to do, what the algorithm does to us. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that. Do you think that people are actually getting like shadow banned and stuff like that and on
Oh yeah,
YouTube?
for sure, dude.
You think
No,
so? Because dude, like
man,
it pops up on my feed all the time. I'll be like, oh, the YouTube algorithm is blah 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 this and that, and it's like, dude, I didn't have any problem finding your video. What are you talking about? The algorithm's working with you.
it does happen. Did you hear about, or are you familiar with a lot of the YouTubers like the quartering and stuff?
I know the quartering. Yes, yes.
Okay, did you see his recent video he just posted yesterday where he was demonetized for a couple of days and now he's completely demonetized or something? It was kind of like a reach out video,
Well, the
but
thing
like,
that the thing that I'm getting at is that the thing that I'm noticing is that like these people will say like, "Oh, I was banned," or "The algorithm is working against me. Make sure you hit the like button so that we can over the." I say, really? Like, if people are watching your videos on a regular basis, they don't need to click no like button. They don't need to click a notification bell because you're
so
always on
they're
their feed.
watching it, bro.
Dude, there was a time where I used to watch the coordinator a lot when he was into Magic the Gathering, because I was following Magic the Gathering stuff because I wanted to start collecting cards and everything a while back. And
Yeah.
I had like a whole big collection of Magic the Gathering cards, and I lost them all and I couldn't find them, and I kind of wanted to get back into it. And that's the reason I started watching his videos to begin with. And then after a while, he started getting into like cultural politics and just culture stuff, and just movies, and not just focusing on Magic. He got banned from like Magic the Gathering conventions and stuff, like Wizards of the Coast or whatever. They basically like disavowed him, and they said we don't want anything to do with this guy.
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
drama.
Yes. So I started watching him, and then after a while, it got like he just kind of brought up like the same boring stories that I've been reading and seeing everywhere else. It's just kind of like that echo chamber, just regurgitating the same stuff. And it's like, okay, I can watch this somewhere else. I'm
Mm.
watching it already somewhere else. So I just stopped watching him. So eventually he fell off my feed. Like I didn't put on my, because you know you can like on your YouTube channel you can like click the little three buttons or whatever, and it will give you the option to say like, oh, don't show me this channel anymore, or I'm not interested in this or whatever.
Yeah.
I did that with him. I didn't do that with him. It just kind of fell off naturally. But then all of a sudden one day, I want to say it was about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, a video of his just popped up on my feed randomly. I hadn't searched anything of him. I haven't done any sort of like um anything related to his channel, like Magic the Gathering or any like pop culture stuff, like culture related politics and stuff like that. I didn't do anything. It just magically popped up on my feed. So then I clicked the video to see what it is, and it was about something that happened recently. I forgot what it was. I think it was something with like the stupid Batwoman show or whatever the hell it is. And I was watching it, and the first thing he says, like, "Oh, make sure you're clicking the like because I'm getting shadow banned." And this, I was like, I don't see how that's possible because it popped up on my feed.
Yeah, I'm watching the video right now.
Exactly. I didn't find this because I had to search for it. I found it because YouTube showed it to me.
Yeah, that does kind of make sense. That's kind of weird, but maybe it's shadow ban in other regards. I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know,
I'm
man.
not new to this stuff too, so I have no idea how this shit works.
I'm just thinking the way that I always think that people are kind of, because you know what's popular nowadays? What's something that you think is popular nowadays? Something that gets a lot of attention. Something that people can be and you can get a lot of attention. Think of like Black Lives Matter and shit like that.
Well, like an activist.
Yeah, like an activist. What are they like being activists for?
Well, who specifically are you
Just people in
asking?
general. Just think of like Black Lives Matter, all these people coming across the border. Like what's that guy's name? Jesse Jackson.
Oh, the Reverend, so-called
Reverend Jesse Jackson and what's that other guy?
grifter, the
Freaking
black people.
Farrakhan and all those guys. What do those guys make money off of?
Louis Farrakhan. Hey, that guy's pretty base. He's funny, man.
But dude, these guys they make their money off of being victims,
Yeah,
right?
well, Jesse Jackson and that other guy, Sharpton.
Al
Yeah, them
Sharpton,
two.
yeah.
Yeah, Al Sharpton. They're
All
the
these Black Lives Matter people, all these other people, they make money off of being victims, right?
yeah, they're the
Someone
racist.
is Yeah, someone is oppressing me, someone is keeping me down, the system is working against me, blah blah blah, so give me money, right? Type of thing.
Yeah,
That's what I feel what that these people on YouTube are trying to kind of bank off of. They're trying to say, man, the YouTube they're coming after us, man. They're coming after us. They don't they're shadow banning my channel, and they're working the algorithm in a way so that our videos don't pop up on people's feeds anymore. So make sure you like us because that's like your way of rebelling against the system. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking in my head, like something that they could be doing, trying to play the victim.
yeah, just to get more money and stuff too, because they're already getting a shitload of money with all their viewers and donations and Patreons and subscribe stars and whatever the hell they got. So and then they got their sponsors, so I'm sure they're not hurting, but I mean they just maybe it's a matter of like this my source of income can be cut off.
I guess so, man. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about stuff like that, like okay, guy, like I'll see. Let me witness that for myself, type of thing. But either way, that's besides the point. We went off into a tangent or whatever. But we have our episodes here. We've only done 2 episodes. We're only able to do this once a week, just based off our schedules for now. It's hopefully later on in the future, like you said, maybe if you get a new job or something, uh, we can have a different schedule. But so far, I think we're okay. We're kind of just doing this on our off time, but we do want to try to make it as professional as possible. Like we just don't want it to be like look, we're providing you content, so give us money type of thing. Like, no, we want this to, actually turn into something.
Straight up, just want to
Yeah.
get different points of view The truth, man. I'm in search of the truth. I just want to know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that right now. So either way, we have YouTube. So if Mark Zuckerberg or whoever's YouTube person, Grand Wizard, YouTube overlord, decides that we're not good enough to be on YouTube, we have options for Rumble, BitChute, and of course, like the sellouts, we got our Patreon already set up. So everything's here if you guys want to check it out. So if you don't like watching stuff on YouTube, we have Rumble and BitChute as well. So that's an option there. So after today, hopefully I could get everything set up after today. But if not tomorrow, the latest, you'll be able to scroll down. We'll have episode 3. So that's our website, guys. Slamfiremedia.com. Check it out. Let us know what you think. No one has let us know what they thought yet. So maybe we're doing okay, right? If we were doing pretty bad, someone would have been on, man, you guys should
Yeah.
just quit right now because it's bad. So I think we're okay.
Guys suck.
I'm thinking of like Nacho Libre. Ever seen Nacho Libre?
Yeah.
Like with that's like we're like I'm Nacho and you're like Skeleto, and we're like showing up for that first match like in our sweat like we're here to do a podcast. I got some guy in the back, Sácalo de ahí. So we haven't had that yet, so we're all right.
All
right.
Be all right, man. Just
yeah.
Go with it, man.
So talking about that, let me stop sharing so we can see who's talking right now. Okay.
All right.
So right now I'm just going by Texas Ocelot. I don't know what you want to go by as like I want like the slant slogan or something. The slanted scholar.
I don't even know yet. I mean, just go with the I don't know, man.
With bunch of pyro. Bunch of pyro,
man.
bunch
Actually, my old that was my avatar on the YouTube as a Ben Spear wearing a bunny suit. Like
yeah, that's why I've seen that other one. I think that's on your Discord, isn't it?
But I got the intelligent guy, Cro-Magnon, man.
So I look at him and I think of the slanted scholar. That's what I think of. So we were talking about the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth to you?
The truth to me is
you're in search of the truth. What is
the only thing, man? There's only one truth, and that's the truth. Things that can be indisputably verified. You know, like you know what I mean. You can look at a burning car and tell that everyone can tell that it's on fire. It's like, yeah.
What if the car isn't burning? What if the car is going through a chemical reaction?
Chemical reaction. Well, I don't know how that would look.
Is it still burning?
I mean, well, if you see flames, I would say it's burning. But I mean, if there's a chemical reaction, that would depend on what's going on inside there. I don't know. If there's smoke, then that doesn't necessarily mean that it could be burning.
So like the way that I'm thinking about this is like I think everyone's I'm on that end too. Like I have the mentality of that if someone looks at something that is plain as day, like you said, like a burning car, everyone should be able to look at that and say, yeah, that car is burning. That car there, it is engulfed in some sort of flame and it is going to be destroyed because it's obviously on fire, right? When you show someone the facts, everyone, the majority of people should be able to deduce what is going on, deduce down to the same thing what is happening when they're looking at something that's plain as day, black and white, right? But on the other side, I've come to notice, especially since where I work, everything is not as clear as day. Like there are people out there who cannot see the quote unquote reality, and I don't know if it's because they choose not to see the reality, if they're too dumb not to see the reality, or their reality is just completely different from our reality.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty good question because I've been observing these people for quite a while. I've been watching all this stuff for the past 4 years now. I think I really just got into it back in 2018, right? Like I was just curious about politics, so that kind of started the whole going down the rabbit hole thing in search of truth and just identity and all sorts of things, right? So then I started seeing these people and how they behave, and I've noticed that a lot of them are very childlike, in mentality. Like they never grew up. They're grown ass people, but they think like children still, and they're living in some kind of coloring book reality. Like what the, totally what the fuck. A lot of the times, they're okay with pedophilia. They're okay with little boys running around and fucking skirts and stuff, prancing around grown ass men throwing dollars at them. Like that's okay. Like, oh, it's just having fun. Like, nah, that's fucking wrong, dude. Like, I don't know what the hell. There's no, but I mean, I don't know. I'm all over the place on that one, man. I can't
So
even.
so let me take that, let me build off of that what you're talking about there. Like, how we talked about this earlier, right? Before we started this channel, we're saying like, okay, how serious do we want to take this? Do we want this to be a professional type of Daily Wire, very, very on the tracks type of show, or do we just want to like, let's make it real, let's make it raw, and let's kind of do, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like be free about it,
I
right? We
think.
talk,
No, sorry. Go ahead, man.
yeah, like we had talked about this. So the idea that I'm thinking is like, are you a person that's the type of person that is, I'm trying to word it in a way so that it makes sense. Like, are you a serious person? Do you take the majority of your life seriously?
Most of it.
Are you here for a long time, or are you here for a good time?
See, I'm still trying to figure that out.
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm on that. Man, I told you about this. I'm on that StarCraft mode. Like, there's no point if you have 2000, if you have 2000 mineral and 1000 gas, you're not playing the game right. You're just wasting those resources. You know what I mean? So I'm on that StarCraft mentality. But I would put you, for, since I've known you for so long, I feel like you're here for a good time. You're a little bit leaning more towards, like, I don't care what happens, I don't care what's going on, so long as I'm having fun while it's going on.
Kind of, maybe in the beginning, it kind of felt that way, but nowadays, with all the shit that I see going on, it just kind of pisses me off. But it's one of those things too that I know is completely out of my control. But unless you act and do something, nothing will ever get done. But as far as like me taking life seriously, nah, I really can't because I just everything is so just stupid. It's like, how could you take life seriously? Like that's just my mentality. Like all the
Well, look,
nonsense going on. Like really, we're supposed to live under this horse shit going on. Like fuck all that, dude. I can't live like that.
and
I don't
see,
know.
that's what I'm kind of getting at. That's what I'm kind of getting at. That there are people who are kind of like us, that we're kind of in the middle, right? Where we are like, hey, we want to have a good time. We like the memes, we like the jokes, we like to have fun.
Mhm.
But there's a point where we draw the line where it's like, okay, like now we need to start thinking about stuff seriously, because this is affecting our lives, this is affecting our culture, this is affecting our country, whatever the case may be, and we have a definitive line that we draw, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like me, I would draw the line at all the nonsense going on already. I mean, there's just too much to get into, all right now, but we
But
can
think
cover
about
that
this,
another
think about
time.
the idea that there are people that do not have that line drawn. There are people that are on this world, that are living here in this country, that they don't care what happens, so long as it brings some sort of reaction, so long as it brings some type of attention. They don't care what the outcome is. Do you think those people exist? Like the jokers of the world?
The
They just want
Joker.
they just want to watch the world burn. They don't really care. They just want to see, they just want to create reactionary stuff, like the edge lords. You think those people exist?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, those people's reality is completely different from our reality. It's completely different from our reality. And who is to say which one is which one is the truth?
Well, like, you can go to just basic, God-given rights kind of deal. We all have a right to live and stuff like that, right? That's kind of what I would base all of this kind of truth and reality on, just things that we all can agree on that, hey, hurting people is bad, killing people is bad, stuff like that. Now those Joker types, that's a different story. They don't care about other people. They don't care if you live or die. Like, they couldn't give two shits if you drop dead right in front of them. They would just look at you, step over your body, and walk away. Like
Yeah.
those type of people do exist, but you can't. They're also, in my opinion, they're a super minority. Like they exist, but there's not enough of those types out there that, in my opinion, to actually. Well, I don't know. Shit, look at the state of the world, man. There's some really crazy people out there trying to take over everything, like Bill Gates and all that. Crazy ass people. Anyway, um, I don't know, man.
Because I'm thinking that it's truth is based off of popularity. What does the majority of people think, and that ultimately determines our truth. Why is the sky blue? Because that's what we determined it to be, blue. Right? The majority of people agreed, yeah, the sky's blue. But someone may, like I said before, someone who may be colorblind says like the sky doesn't look blue to me. It looks like a I don't even see a color blue or whatever. I don't know. Blind. I'm not. I forgot about colorblind people, but like what shades that they see. I think everything's like grays, right? Like in different shades of gray. So it's like I don't. They don't see the blue. They don't see the green. They don't see any of that stuff. So to them, their reality is completely different from our reality. Their
Yeah.
facts are different from our facts. The only reason that they are considered wrong and that the sky is blue is because there's a smaller number of people who are colorblind versus people who are not colorblind. What do you think about that right there?
Dude, what if watch their reality is the actual truth? Imagine that,
That's what
right?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
So
I hear you. I hear you.
reality and facts. So based off your logic, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying reality and
Yeah.
facts is based off of popularity. Is that real reality? Is that the real truth?
Well, then we have to get into the science. How many people have done studies and, well, I don't know how you could study the sky as
But
blue.
that's just an
Taking
example. That's just
samples
an
of the
example. But just
sky.
generally speaking,
Yeah.
how do you prove that the reality is the true reality?
You have to do studies, you have to investigate. And then if several people come to the same conclusion, well, then, verifiably, I guess it's safe to say that, yeah, that's true. But nah, I see where you're going with it.
Because I think the what this is kind of getting us into is that we're getting too much into like specifics. Like you're getting down, you're trying like the farther you try to go to down to the minute detail to say that this is A is equal to A. And then when you start going down into like subsections of A, like A plus A is equal to 2A. When you start like getting into it and start dissecting it more and creating a trying to create a more clearer picture, that's when it starts to kind of break down what is actual reality, because it's like it goes into the concept that we are part of a bigger system, right? Like there isn't just one single reality. There could be multiple realities, right? What is true is here, like we say, like the sky is blue. If I look up and I see the sky, it should be blue. But maybe if you're on another system, like in another planet or something, you look up, the sky may not be blue. It may be green or something else, right?
Mm, yeah, possibly.
So when you start getting into those fine details, I think that's when the truth starts to like break apart. So, but what I'm getting at is like what I'm trying to get at, and I don't think I'm doing a very good job of it, but I don't care. Like, uh,
Mm.
everyone needs to find that little balance where you're speaking in general terms, because that's where we can all kind of agree. That's when the large majority of us can agree that, like, generally speaking, the sun is in the center of the universe. That's a very general statement. Like, or not the center of the universe, the center of the solar system. The sun
Mhm.
is in the center of the solar system. That's a fairly general idea that everyone can kind of observe and agree. Once you start breaking down parts of the solar system, the Earth is the third planet from the sun. It's like, okay, got to think about it. Is it? Is there a maybe there's a planet that we're missing? Since someone can say like, oh, maybe I think there is a planet that's missing that we're just not counting. So we're actually the fourth planet from the sun. So see, the farther that you like kind of go out and you kind of like break it down and you expand on that the idea, the more the truth kind of gets fuzzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking about like how that's kind of interesting. How when we try to like when we're trying the idea of trying to find the truth actually kind of pushes us further away from the truth. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, because you could probably even get to a point where you just end up creating truth, and then it's
Exactly.
completely wrong, Yeah.
Exactly. Because you're like, you're
You
just
get
so
so
hyper.
obsessed with it.
Exactly. You're like, you're so hyper focused on finding this thing that you kind of just forget about everything else. And you're just thinking like, I invested so much time and energy into this. I need to be right about this. You know, a
Yeah.
certain truth needs to be correct. And then that's where it kind of flips, where it's like, uh, you know, I don't know. Let's run yeah, let's make a show called Cuties and let's put it on Netflix for kids to watch. And it's like yeah, okay, like yeah, that I guess that's someone's truth. That's something that should be okay. Okay, I guess that's where society starts to break down.
Man, our society. Wow. It's
So
just
going on to like truth stuff, like thinking like that's what I brought up earlier. Let me bring up some stuff over here. So George Floyd, this happened a while back, right?
wait, fentanyl Floyd.
George Fentanyl Floyd. So let's this happened a while back, but let's keep on to the topic of truth. So where's my screen? There we go. Screen two. There we go. So this isn't George Floyd. If you guys don't know who George Floyd, this isn't George Floyd. So the thing is, when all of this was going down, I feel like everyone was hyper focused on something, right? Everyone was hyper focused on the fact that a white guy killed a black guy, right? And they're going down into those fine details or whatever. But with them going down deeper and deeper and deeper into the meta of it, like into the you know deep dive and trying to feel like, oh, it's racism or whatever, they're just hyper focused on that and they're not looking at the facts. So I heard something, and I'm pretty sure you can verify it, that the police chief, this dude right here, is it going to show me? There we go. This dude is the police chief, right? Can you like confirm this?
Actually, I don't see your screen, but
You don't see my
Derek
screen?
Chauvin, though, that's his name. Pretty sure you're showing the right guy.
Well, I'm showing the police chief of Minneapolis, the guy that was on, because I remember watching this live. I was watching it while it was going on. The police chief of the department that the police officer was working for, he was testifying, and he mentions in there, he had mentioned while he was testifying, and I vaguely remember him talking about it, but he mentioned that Chauvin did not follow the procedures, did not follow the training, that is not something that they teach. Do you remember hearing something like that?
I think I do recall hearing something like that, but that's just a case of cover your ass, so that's all BS.
Yeah, I mean, that can be going back and forth, but
Yeah, yeah.
what he said it's hard to deny what he said because there's video evidence of it, there's audio evidence of what he said, right? So he said that, let me see, can you hear my audio? Share sound. Okay, yes. Okay. Am I sharing my screen? What is
Yeah,
going on?
I see it.
Okay, so this guy right here, let's share the audio real quick.
There was no longer any resistance, and clearly, when Mr. Floyd was no longer responsive and even motionless, to continue to apply that level of force to a person proned out, handcuffed behind their back, that in no way, shape, or form is anything that is by policy.
So right there, by no way, shape, or form is anything by policy. right? That's pretty cut and dry. He goes on,
Is not part of our training.
it's not part of the training, right? So he says, first, it's not part of the policy. Second, we don't train them, we don't train our police officers to do that. So I think we can I think the majority of people can look at this and deduce that this guy, the police chief, said that that's not something that's in our policy and we don't train our police officers to do that. Would that be safe to say?
Well, it's coming out of his mouth, but that doesn't mean I would believe it because they get that training from the IDF. That's
No,
where
but
that,
okay, well, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna go further into it. So
Yeah.
is what I'm saying is like what this guy said, this is the police chief. This is the captain of the ship, right? He should know everything about his crewmates, right? He should know everything about his officers. He should know what they're responsible for. He should know what their training is composed of. He should know what the policies are. He should know these things, right? So where that's his reality. That what he just said is his reality, unless he's just flat out lying. But I'd like to believe that this is supposed to be a court of law and they're supposed to tell the truth, with their hand on the Bible and everything like that. So I'm willing to give this guy the benefit of the doubt that he believes he's telling the truth. Would you agree with that? That he believes he's telling the truth?
that he believes he's
That he
telling.
believe whether he's telling the truth or not, that's different. But do you believe that he is telling the truth?
I don't believe he's telling the truth. No,
You don't believe that? Okay, okay. Do you
even though he's
believe?
saying what he's saying,
Let me
I don't
reword
believe
it.
it.
Let me reword it. Let me reword it. Does he believe? Do you believe that he believes what he's telling is the truth?
I think he's just reading a script. To be honest, that's my opinion on it. I don't
Okay.
think he believes what he's saying is the truth. He's just,
Oh wow.
this is
Okay.
this is what you're supposed to go up and tell everybody. Go say this. He's a politician basically at this point. That's how I'm viewing him.
Well, to my understanding, this guy, he walked the beat. He was a police officer once. So I'm kind of thinking with that idea in the back of my mind that he knows what it's like to be a police officer. He knows what it's like to be in that situation. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And see, that's I think where we're different. That's where I think our conclusions are a little bit different because of that aspect. But I believe that he believes what he's saying is the truth. Whether it is the truth or not, that's a different story. But I believe that he believes what he's saying is correct. Okay,
And it is certainly not part of our ethics or our values.
so that's what he said, right? So moving on to that, let's find the truth. What is the actual truth? Whether it doesn't matter what this guy believes or doesn't believe, who cares? Because he may believe that the earth is flat for all we know, right? That's not necessarily the truth. Just because you believe something doesn't mean you're correct, right? It's like I say, like, I believe that we could get all our minerals, we can get all our vitamins, we can get all our proteins, we can get all our caloric needs from just eating salads, being vegan. You can go outside and you don't even need to go to the store. You can go and eat grass and that's good enough to sustain your body. That's what I believe. Can you tell me that I'm wrong and be correct?
No, I couldn't because I don't know what you know on that. Well, no, I don't know. I couldn't really say.
But am
Because
I telling you the truth?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know much on that subject. If eating plants can give you all the sustenance that you need, I mean, I've heard of it. People say that, but that's a whole nother topic. The fitness industry says a lot of things.
Well, no, you're kind of going deep into it. I'm just talking about the concept of it. My reality, my world tells me, in my mind is my world, tells me that I can just eat grass and that'll sustain me for the rest of my life. And you're a bad person because you don't do it. And I'm telling you the truth. Am I correct?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say
But
it
I'm
because
correct. I'm right. I've been doing this for like 5 years, and look at me. I'm skin and bone. I'm healthy.
Skin and bones healthy, man. I don't know. I would have to
Because fat is
disagree.
bad. Don't you know that fat is bad for you? It
Oh,
clogs your arteries and it's bad for you. You can't have fat on your body. You can't weigh more than 200 pounds. It's bad.
it's good, man. Fat's good. That's all
No,
life. It's
in
all
my
industry
mind,
life.
I need if when I eat grass, I feel good. My mind tells me that I'm doing good, so that's the truth.
Okay, now we're getting into feelings here. That's different. Those are
No,
like
there's no feelings in my
that's
mind.
feeling.
My
That
mind is telling me that this is correct. My mind is telling me. It's
that's
telling
like
me that this is correct.
it sounds like those transgender people. Like my mind is telling me I'm a woman, but I'm physically I'm a man.
But who
So
are we to say that their truth and their
eh,
reality is
maybe it is true.
incorrect?
I mean, they think that way. Maybe it is true, but I mean, still, that doesn't make them what they think they are. Because
Okay.
that's
So like back to the point.
verify we see that shit.
Back to the point. So this guy said that that is not a policy in their guidebooks, right? In
Yeah.
their rule handbook or whatever that they have, and it's not a train. It's not something that they train for. Okay, but we go to this over here. Let me play this.
What attached MPD training materials call maximal restraint technique. The training materials include a photograph of an officer with his knee on the suspect's neck. This comes despite MPD Chief Madera Arredondo repeatedly saying after the death of George Floyd that officers are not trained to put their knee on a suspect's neck.
So here we go. We
Yeah.
have one dude over here saying, that's not a policy, and we don't train for that."
Uh-huh.
In the freaking handbook, it says it right here, Minneapolis, right there. They literally train you to do that with the guy's hand behind with his arms behind his back, and the knee on the neck.
Yeah. Do
So
they
who is wrong?
see? Like I had already called it before you even showed that video. I was like, this guy's a fucking liar, man. And I know where they got that training from. Like, if I don't know if they're gonna cover that, but like I already said it, they get it from the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. Like
Yeah,
that's what
this is
technique.
something that is widely trained
Mm-hmm.
throughout different uh police I'm thinking of a word here. What would be the word? Like police precincts and
Districts. Yeah.
districts, yeah, whatever, whatever form of police you have, like constables and sheriffs and all that stuff. This is like common stuff that is trained. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm kind of getting at. Like this guy, is he intentionally lying? Is he lying because, like you said, he's following a script and he's saying, I gotta say this and I gotta say this and I gotta say this, knowing that this is the truth,
Mm-hmm.
right? With that intent, or is he stupid and doesn't know his own policies? Like they picked him up in the back of a freaking Walmart or something, and they said, you're the chief of police now," and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, or his reality is completely different of what reality is.
I think he's just being a liar and not lying because he's being told to lie. He's just reading a script. He's not giving out any information. Just damage control, just what
I
a
guess so.
politician would do. That's why I'm viewing him as a politician.
It
This is
just
what
goes
they
back
do.
to like intent, though. What's his
Mhm.
intent? What's he accomplishing by lying?
Damage control for the just throwing all the blame on Chauvin. Like we have nothing to do with this. We don't train our guys to do this stuff. That's all on him. He learned that somewhere else. And then here you go, seeing a training video. This is what we do.
And
We
I
put
find
knees on people's necks. It's like, yeah, like come on, man. It's so obvious. It's
and that's one
not
of the things that's what's bothering me, is that how come this guy isn't receiving any flack?
for lying about it. Well, I don't know because he's the chief of police, but
Yeah, like not for lying about it, but for like, how come he's not receiving any flack? It's like, look, they don't train for that, but look, someone is training them to do that, and you let them do that. Why did you let them train your people like this? What do you like? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Why did you let this happen? You're the one that let this happen because this is the training that they received. Is he not in control of the training that these police officers receive?
I don't know. I honestly wouldn't know the answer to that question.
But
But
I think you had kind of ended the whole discussion earlier when you said that you were kind of leading on to it. Like it's pretty much like a cult.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in a cult, the reality is what the supreme leader says the reality is. And it
Those are
doesn't,
the. No, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just going to add to it. Like, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what everybody else sees. It doesn't matter their experience. If the reality, if the leader of the cult or whoever it is isn't saying it's the reality, everything else is just kind of out the window. There, you can't even discuss it. You can't, it's not even an option.
Yeah, that's that cult shit, man. That's those people cannot be reasoned with or talked to. They're like Terminators. Just, they
They're
feel
just
no pain.
programmed. Yeah, they're just
Yeah, yeah,
programmed
exactly.
to think a certain way, to internalize information a certain way and spin it or reorganize it so that it fits their narrative, their cult hive mind thinking or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
It's-
I don't know, is that the end result? I think it kind of is. Like I think it's the end result. I think that is a natural order to things because at the end of the day, we're all organisms. Like even if you expand it into like the universe, like what is the purpose of everything? Like what is the purpose of a sun? What is the end result of a sun? To just like basically implode and become a black hole, right?
Hmm.
And then what does a black hole do? It just absorbs, just consumes things and gets larger and larger and larger, right? So you break that down and further into like organisms and animals and people. Our whole thing is territory. We just want to grow and expand and get as big as possible. That's what we want to do. We want to take up as much territory as possible. And I think that's what's kind of happening with these cult mentality type people, these radicals and these people that they're just trying to influence as many people as they can so that they can increase their numbers. And they do it by any means possible, like this, just flat straight, like maybe like you're saying, straight out flat line, ju- just flat out line to, in a court. You know what I mean? So, but I'm still on the side where I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's just too stupid to actually know what's going on in his own police department. That's what I think.
It's a possibility. There's some really dumb higher ups, man. So
Yeah,
they kissed a lot of ass to get to that position, or they knew somebody and they're dumb as shit, you know. So I could believe it.
like
I
maybe
could
he
believe
sat
it.
behind a desk, like he's like a freaking like he's a stolen valor type of police officer where he sat behind a
Yeah,
desk for the majority of his career.
yeah,
And like you said,
exactly.
he just
Could
kissed the
be.
right ass. He went on a ride along a couple of times and helped out a couple of people. He went out to calls after the call happened, like 2 hours later, and he showed up and like, yeah, everything looks good here. Like, and then he just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm just getting to the point. I'm just talking shit about the poor guy. I don't even
Yeah,
know, but
man.
it's
That
like,
guy. Okay.
but either way, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that that he's just ignorant to what is going on in his own department.
I think he's a liar. He knows, but
That's
damage control, man. Like I just know this story anyway, so like
yeah.
I know the angles.
I think
It's
that's
just
true
obvious,
too.
man.
But
But it,
until I hear it from his own mouth that he says like I lied, like yeah, I knew that we did this and I lied. Until I hear that, I'm always gonna have that idea in the back of my mind that maybe he's just ignorant. I don't know. That's just me though. Moving on. Kyle Rittenhouse. This is the hot button right here. Bam. LAPD
yeah,
kick
Kenosha
to the face.
kid.
So Kyle Rittenhouse. This is going on right now. They're starting the whole process of jury selection, I think, and everything like that. Unless they already chose the jury, I'm not sure. But it's still in the early stages of the trial and everything like that.
Hmm.
So this is cut and dry. Have you seen the videos on this?
Oh yeah, wonderful.
So looking at this, we're just gonna do a click. This is really quick. This is shameless plug. This is Donut Operator. Donut Operator is pretty good.
Donut.
So shameless plug, Donut Operator. Hook us up, Donut Operator. If you ever see this, he probably won't because he's too cool. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I'll never see this.
quick video, quick little video.
That's when a dude jumps on top of him.
Man, like the difference between us and them is like, look at
So I saw this dude running away with a gun in his hand. Normally, people that have guns in their hands, they don't run away, right? Because you have a
that.
gun in your hand.
Yeah.
You run away from the gun. You don't run. It's not.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
you usually can stand in the spot that you're in, unless they're shooting back at you and you got to run. But these people don't give a shit. Look at these people. They're just like, yeah, he's got a gun.
I'm not getting you.
It's a black scary gun. I'm gonna stay here. Look at this guy. Looks like he has his hands in his pocket, just chilling. Everyone like, yeah, this is cool. So this guy obviously looks like he's afraid of something.
He's looking over his shoulder. He's running
Looking
away.
over his shoulder, exactly. He's running towards some flashing lights over here. So he's obviously scared of something, looking for protection.
Here comes somebody
Whack!
running up.
I see this, yeah, just straight up trying to blindside him. And then I see this other guy over here. He has a weapon in his hand. He's got a skateboard. It's kind of hard to see there. There it is. You can see it right there a little bit better. He's got a skateboard in his hand. Dude, have you ever skateboarded?
Never. No, I tried busting my ass.
Well,
But yeah, they're heavy though. I know
they're heavy. They have metal that's like solid. Well, it's not solid wood, but it's like a nice hunk of wood. It's
Yeah.
got grip tape on there. It's metal with the trucks, and like it can, you could kill somebody with that. And he's still running away. I see his legs kicking. like
He
like
was running.
he was like his braces fell off back here, and this guy's going. He was going somewhere.
Going somewhere. Go to the lights over there.
He and I don't think he just felt like running. He's running for a
He was
reason.
running for his life.
So
Someone was gonna come up and bit him.
that guy took a swing at him, and then look what happens. He falls down. Where was it?
Oh, see something run
Right
up
there.
and get
Oh,
him.
he's almost there, and then ooh, he chunks it. So he looks back and he realizes that these people are gonna do something to him. They're coming at him. This guy looks like he's pulling something out, right? Like I see like a little triangle action right here.
Mm-hmm. That's the guy that had the gun, right?
I think someone else had it, but
Oh no.
this guy's gonna kick him. So he already has his gun up. Why didn't he shoot these guys right here? If he was so willing like gung ho to kill these people, why didn't he just kill these guys right here?
That just shows how much trigger discipline this kid had, man. Like,
Exactly.
he's very, very, very
Aware.
into this thing. Yeah, yeah. Like his surroundings, dude, like getting kicked over like that and immediately being able to identify what was, what's going on. That's some crazy shit.
Because he
Yeah.
had plenty of options. He had plenty of options. Where was the one that we were showing? Right here. This is the dude running. He could have shot that dude. He could have shot up all these people right here. Could have shot all of them up. I'm
If he
pretty
was
sure
a
he had
crazy person, yeah, right.
If he was-
really murderous,
exactly. So we go on a little bit. Because there's another guy that pulls up. I pull up. So he shoots and he misses that guy. This guy comes, skateboard man comes and hits him again with the skateboard. And then we got the Lone Ranger over here. Will it go? Will it show it? Oh, well, that's a good shot right there of the skateboard. So if you guys don't know, so those people who don't know about skateboards, what he's grabbing right there, that's actually metal. Like it's like a good chunk of metal. There's hardware there. And that's attached to this piece of wood. And it's like, dude, it's like a good maybe quarter inch, maybe not 3/4 of an inch, but like at least a quarter inch, like piece of plywood almost. You're smacking the back of this dude's neck. How come this guy isn't being charged for, assault or something like that? Look at this guy. He's just like chilling.
like, I'm out of here.
Like, how is this not like attempted murder or something?
Well,
This guy, he had the opportunity to run away.
he didn't have to go after him like that.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. He could have minded his own damn business, let him run away because he was already retreating, but he
Yeah.
decided to go after him.
No, he runs to catch up to him, and then he actually turns around and comes back at him.
But you
he
know what I
tried.
think their reasoning for it was because they had found out that he already shot that other guy, and so they were going after him, thinking he was a murderer or some crazy person. So that was their justification for attacking
No,
Rittenhouse.
but see,
That
that
they
makes
were whatever, you know what I mean? That was their reasoning behind it. But that's
that
bullshit.
that makes me think that they knew he was the victim.
Yeah.
They knew he was the one being attacked because they had the oh my goodness, they had the when you perceive something, they had the train of mind, they had that train of thought knowing that this guy wasn't going to shoot them if they're running up to him. You know what I mean? They knew he was just defending himself. So they knew it was okay to run up behind him and to, try to get in a few cheap shots and to try to smack him with with a skateboard, because they knew that he wouldn't shoot them unless they were like a direct freaking, like, they had a knife or a gun or something like that. They knew that he would let them kind of get away with more than they should have gotten away with.
I don't know, man. I just think I disagree because the way it all went down, the first guy he shot, I forgot his name, but that guy got really close. I think he grabbed the gun at one point, and then Rittenhouse was able to get it away from him. Like he grabbed the barrel and then he pulled away, and then whatever, it got messy, shot him, whatever. These idiots over here just thinking that this guy, that Rittenhouse, flipped out and shot somebody, so they think they're the good guys going after Rittenhouse. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how I think they were perceiving themselves to be the heroes because hey, look, this guy Kyle shot this other guy. Like, look, let's go get him. He's a bad guy, whatever. So then they go over there, brain fucking idiots, because they don't have any weapons themselves other than a skateboard. Well, one guy does pull a gun, so that's not true. And they'll show that. I think that's the guy that got shot. Anyway, but I think these idiots actually believe that they're the heroes going after this evil person that just killed somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think went down. Like, these people were actually that stupid to go after a guy with a rifle. Like, you know what I mean? I think they're not very intelligent people to begin with. So I don't know. I disagree on that take that
I,
these guys.
I think that's possible, but I'm willing to believe that I'm more inclined to think that they're very much aware of what they can and can't get away with. I don't think they were trying to be heroes. I think they were just trying to get in what they could get in. I think they were trying to kill someone themselves. Trying,
Probably, yeah, that I would agree with.
you know
I
what I
don't know.
mean?
I don't know what they thought they were going to accomplish going after a guy with a gun if they themselves didn't have a gun or any sort of weapon that could actually do significant damage. Like a skateboard can't fuck somebody up if you hit him right, sure. But still, that's compared to the rifle that he had. Why the hell are you going to approach somebody that could shoot a bullet that goes, really, really fast? It's like,
Faster than
it'll
you
just
can run,
shred you.
yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, come on, man. Like, I think these dudes are stupid to begin with. They're not very smart people. And then, they're attacking a guy with a gun. It's like, how dumb do you have to be? Anyway, I don't know. This whole situation is clear cut self defense. And they're already, I think the trial starts on the 4th or on the 1st.
So right here, this guy gets shot. Right, that's where this guy gets shot that had the gun, and there's a
Yeah.
picture of the gun so that you can see. There's the gun. Like, without a doubt, he had a gun.
Hmm.
So again,
That's truth right there. You can verify
you can verify that that's a gun. Maybe someone else disagrees. Oh, maybe, how do you
an
know it's a
airsoft
gun?
gun.
What if it's
An
an
airsoft
airsoft
gun.
gun?
Yeah.
But it looks like a gun.
It's a CO2 pistol gun. It's a cap gun.
It's a Nerf gun. It's one of them Nerf guns. But
That guy
anyway,
was
you can
pointing
clearly
at it.
see he's running away. He had plenty of opportunities to shoot. And see, I'd be freaking out like bad. I'd be freaking out with all of these people right here. You don't know what they have in their hands. You don't know who
No
they are.
kidding, right?
And he's literally running in the middle of the street. Like, I would at least go like on the sidewalk or something, at least put less people on both sides of me and rather have the majority of people on one side. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, he's just so freaked out. He's just running. He's just trying to get to the police. So this
Yeah.
is clear cut and dry. So I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to bring this up because like I said, it's still in the early, as of this filming, as of us recording this, it's still in the early stages of the trial. So what I'm very interested in to see is how this trial ends up, because we know what happened with is there a picture of him? I want to get a picture of the Chauvin guy. This is how prepared we are, people.
Yeah, we're very prepared. We're
We're-
starting out. We'll get it eventually.
I want to get a picture of Derek Chauvin, but
Now
Derek
we gotta
Chauvin
get
is a
these-
police officer, right?
Yeah, Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, I want to get a picture of him. That guy's trial was over before it started.
Hell yeah, it was straight up political right from the get go.
Like
He
the
was not gonna
jury,
have a fair trial.
exactly. The jury knew that this guy was guilty. It didn't matter what anybody said. It didn't matter what the defense said. What they could they could come and show them the smoking gun. They can come and they can bring them all the evidence. They can literally have the guy who trained them come in and show the video. We just had that one. I was prepared for that. Where was it?
With the guy kneeling on the neck of the other guy in the
Oh,
training.
that was this video right here.
Yeah,
They could come and literally show this picture to the jury and tell them this is what they're supposed to do. He did not do anything wrong in terms of training. Now, I'll take this back a little bit and say, should he still been charged with something? Do you think he should have just been let go, or should he have been charged with
No.
something?
I don't think he should have been charged at all. Fuck
Really?
no.
I think he should have got
Yeah.
at least manslaughter.
Not even that, because basically he's already doing the training, right? And then what they were showing too, that his knee was more on his back,
Like
like
his
in
shoulder,
upper
yeah.
middle back, his middle back or something. So,
Yeah.
and even then, George asked to lay down on the floor. Plus, he was having an overdose during the whole
Okay, when he
ordeal
asked him
anyway.
when he asked him to lie down on the floor, was he supposed to do that?
Well, actually, no. The cops could have just left his ass in the car.
Exactly. That's
what I
okay.
mean?
That's my point. Stay on that. Stay on that.
Yeah,
It was police protocol that they should not have taken him out of the car, right?
yeah.
They shouldn't have taken him out of the car. The fact that Chauvin decided to take him out of the car puts him responsible for what happens to him outside of the car. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would have to agree. He should
Manslaughter. Manslaughter.
Okay, maybe, but I still
No.
don't think so because because like he was showing good intent. Like he was actually trying to make George comfortable. Like they're not gonna talk
Okay,
about
okay. Good
us,
intent. His
huh?
intentions were good, right? He wanted him to feel comfortable,
Yeah,
right? His
because
intentions were good. Okay,
he
say
didn't
you're
have to
driving
do
down the road. Say you're driving down the road. A little kid jumps out in front of you because he's playing soccer or whatever. He jumps out in front of you and you swerve to the left because you don't want to hit the kid, right? But guess what? You swerve into another car head on and you kill the driver. Should you get manslaughter for that?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. What do you cause an accident by trying to avoid an accident? Yeah, I don't know.
You're in
it's-
it's I think it's like a similar situation where your intentions are good, right? It's like I don't want to kill the kid. You know what I mean? I'm trying to protect the kid, but when trying to do that, you cause someone else to be killed. I
Yeah.
unfortunately think you should be
Yeah.
charged for manslaughter.
I mean, that's like the lesser of all the charges, right? When it
Yeah,
comes
it's
to
not premeditated. It's you caused someone else
It was an accidental death. It wasn't
accidental type of thing. Yeah.
So the penalty wouldn't have been that steep. Yeah, no, okay, I agree. Like, but still, the training, all that.
I
the
agree.
Toxicology, there was no
Yes.
reason.
This guy was set up. The Chauvin
Yeah.
guy was set up to fail.
Yeah,
He got set up by this fool right here. That's what I'm saying. I think this guy's dumb. Like he didn't like. I don't understand. It would if I was a police officer in Minneapolis. It would be very hard for me to go back to work knowing that this guy is the chief, because it's like he literally threw him. Not I hate that word literally. He basically threw Chauvin under the bus.
oh, he did. He threw him. He Sparta kicked his ass into the damn pit.
Pretty much.
Yeah, man. Like
This is
boom.
Minneapolis.
Yeah. Man, yeah, he took the fall hardcore. It was, man. But I don't know. Maybe later on they'll give him a mistrial because all the jurors were afraid of the fallout. Like,
Exactly, that's true too.
that was the main reason why they ruled the way they did.
I
You know,
forgot
or
about that.
decided.
They interviewed
Like
them
they
afterward.
were,
Yeah,
yeah, they were afraid for their well being and stuff. You know, from the fallout of their rightful judgment, which whatever. That's neither here nor there, but still. And then with Rittenhouse, it's actually looking good because the judge is saying that the people cannot be called victims, the ones that he shot. They cannot be called victims in court, so that's looking good, and he's getting some pretty good feedback on all this stuff. So it doesn't look like it's going to be one of these bullshit kangaroo courts like Chauvin.
and see, I
So
didn't think that's what I was thinking about George Floyd. I was thinking the exact same thing because they started bringing up all those things that he was with the whole fentanyl thing, with the whole they had him be in the back of the car, and they asked him to come. They asked him the George Floyd asked if he could be brought up to lie down or whatever. Like it was all by, and all this stuff was coming out, and I felt like okay, and I was under the mentality like I was still trying to decide like should he get manslaughter or should he be like completely exonerated and like no, all charges dropped or something like that. But I was still thinking that he should have gotten some sort of manslaughter because he was responsible for him, and whatever his intentions were.
sure
Okay,
will.
just
Yeah.
I can like if you just wanted to mute your mic, that'd be fine. But yeah, like when all that started, when the whole George Floyd thing started, I was thinking the same thing that you were thinking right now. It's looking good because of this and this and this, and it should be like a clear cut decision of self defense. But I think it'll be interesting in the few coming weeks or however long the trial takes to see what actually happens and to see what is the truth according to the people that are left to determine what the truth is.
Nah, I don't know. This whole thing should be interesting how it unfolds. I
Yeah,
don't think it's gonna be that bad.
I
But
hope
we'll
so.
see, man. We'll see how
Yeah.
political they make it.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to end our episode though. We went on pretty good. That was a pretty good, kind of went back and forth a little bit. But yeah, again guys, thanks for the 5 of you who are watching our videos. Thanks for checking us out.
Shout out.
Again, shout out to the 5 of you. I don't know who you are, and thank you to our
To
one
the
subscriber
one.
on BitChute. I don't even know who it is, but thank you. We got slamfiremedia.com. Check it out, guys. We got our episode 3, which we just did right now. Will be posted up later. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Slamfire.
Shut up.
I didn't even stop recording. I'm gonna leave that there.